Palestine is not alone. There are powerful nations that not only recognize Palestine as a state, but also offer support through financial and diplomatic aid. In this episode of FTD Facts, we'll be looking at 10 countries that support Palestine. Hey guys, welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton. Now, this episode was highly requested, so I want you guys to stick around until the end so you don't miss any of the information in this episode as we look at these powerful nations that support Palestine. Starting at number 10, we have the country of Pakistan. Pakistan has been one of the leading nations in voicing their support for Palestine. There have been demonstrations across Pakistan in solidarity with Palestinians. Demonstrators also held up Pakistani and Palestinian flags at many demonstration sites across the country after Prime Minister Imran Khan called for a day of solidarity. Also, Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi's remarks on CNN have gone viral, and he's made it clear what Pakistan's stance is when it comes to Palestine and Israel.
What are their connections?
Deep pockets.
What does that mean?
Well, they're very influential people. I mean, they control media.
I would call that an anti-Semitic remark.
The Irish Parliament recently has passed a motion condemning the de facto annexation of Palestinian land by Israeli forces. Now, this makes it the first European Union country to use this specific phrase, de facto annexation, in relation to Israel's actions in occupied Palestinian territories. There was also this video from an Irish Parliament featuring Richard Boyd Barrett discussing the issue with Palestinians. Well, that clip has gone viral, although it was recorded back in the year 2014. But his message has reached far more people now because of the current events.
Most of which has taken place since Oslo. You allow that to happen. Why do you allow it to happen? If you're serious about giving this land to the Palestinians, it's absolutely extraordinary. And it just, you must, are you not just taking us, Ambassador, for idiots? That you can say with a straight face, we're serious about peace, but while we're serious about peace, we're going to seize Palestinian land.
Next up, we have Indonesia. Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi said this in a virtual press conference. Indonesia will continue to work with the Palestinian people and nation in fighting for their rights. She had also said that Indonesia will continue to do its best to support Palestine in the UN General Assembly. Then there was the Indonesian President Joko Widodo. He has openly condemned Israeli forces and the violence against Palestinians, especially at Al-Aqsa Mosque. He's urging the UN Security Council to take measures on the repeated violations carried out by Israel towards the Palestinians. Next on this list is the country of Sweden. Sweden was actually the first European Union country to recognize Palestine as a state. Margot Wallström, who was the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Sweden at the time, back in 2014, had these words to say. It is an important step that confirms the Palestinian right to self-determination. Today's recognition is a contribution to a better future for a region that has for too long been characterized by frozen negotiations, destruction, and frustration. Some will state this decision comes too soon. I'm afraid rather that it is too late. At number 6, we have Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's permanent representative to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or the OIC, Saleh Hamad al-Suhabani, he said that the Israeli violations flagrantly contravene the principles of international humanitarian law and defy UN Security Council resolutions. Saudi Arabia also calls on the international community to take immediate action to compel Israel to halt all practices that violate the rights of the Palestinian people, and I quote, who have suffered greatly and are still struggling to obtain their most important legitimate rights to establish security and safety, achieve economic growth, and improve their conditions. This is according to al-Suhabani. All right, guys, so we looked at 5 countries so far who support Palestine. We have 5 more to go. But before we get into the last 5, just want to give a shout out to our FTD Facts members who have been supporting us monthly with their contributions. Thank you guys so much. It really helps the channel out and it really helps us in sharing more information with people. If you also want to support our work here at FTD Facts, you can become a monthly member also. The link is below in the video description. Again, thank you guys so much for your continual support. It really makes a big difference. Okay, continuing this episode now at number 5, we got to look at the country of Iran. According to the head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Hossein Salami, Iran supports the Palestinian fight against Israel. They also do not recognize Israel as a state. Iranian officials, they have called on the United Nations and also other Muslim nations to start taking action and step in to stop apartheid Israel from attacking Palestine. Also, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani, he started to raise this issue with Turkey, saying that Iran and Turkey must band together as 2 major players in the entire region to urge the UN and the OIC, or the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, to fight against the crimes of Israel. That's how they term it. Turkey's President Erdogan has made his voice heard loud and clear, and he has been urging the world to take effective action against Israeli forces, especially in light of the attacks on the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the attacks in Jerusalem, and also just on Palestinian homes in general. President Erdogan, he had this to say in a tweet: "Jerusalem is the world itself, and the Muslims, they are humanity itself." He also said that protecting the honor and dignity of the holy city of Jerusalem was the duty of every single Muslim in the world. Number 3 brings us to Egypt. Egypt is a nation that continues to provide humanitarian aid to the Palestinians and has sent a delegation from the Egyptian Red Crescent, or the ERC, to the Gaza Strip to see what are the most urgent needs of the people there. Egypt says that this is in efforts to provide aid and assistance in various fields, and also to affirm Egypt's leading role in supporting the people of Palestine. India was actually one of the first countries to recognize the state of Palestine back in the year 1988. Now, when we look back to 1996, India opened its representative office to the Palestine Authority in Gaza, which later was shifted to Ramallah in 2003. And rewind back to the year 1975, India became the first non-Arab country to recognize the Palestinian Liberation Organization as the sole representative of the Palestinian people, and invited it to open an office in Delhi, India. And then in the year 1988, when the PLO declared an independent state of Palestine with its capital in East Jerusalem, India granted recognition immediately. And the country we end off with at number 1 is China. China recognized the state of Palestine also back in the year 1988. And since the year 1992, China has really established great diplomatic relations with Israel and also has maintained cordial relationships with Palestine. But here's the thing, with recent events, according to the Global Times, they reported on May 28, 2021 that China will offer $1 million in emergency humanitarian assistance cash to Palestine, and also another $1 million for 200 doses of the vaccine to help refugees. Ambassador Chen Zhu of China called on Israel to observe the relevant UN resolutions and to stop its demolition of Palestinian homes and also the eviction of Palestinian people. They also urge Israel to discontinue its settlement expansion, as well as maintain and respect the holy sites in the city of Jerusalem. All right, guys, so if you made it so far in this episode, well, that wraps it up. That's all I have for you in this one. This was a look at 10 powerful countries that support Palestine. Before you head on out of here, leave a like if you enjoyed this one. Also, don't forget to sound off down below in the comment section what you thought about anything shared in this episode. That's what we like to do here on FTD Facts. We like to have a conversation with you guys about anything that we talk about. Okay, until next time, guys, stay awesome, stay educated. I'll see you in the next episode.